60 laps complete, 150 of 500 miles in the books. After a lengthy red flag, which brought us to darkness, cool track, clean asphalt, and a new leader, Brad Keselowski. 2012 Sprint Cup champion for Roger Penske. Out in front, he won the title in a Dodge. Penske switches to Ford. Keselowski has the fastest one of those in Daytona right now.
Yeah, in the pre-race show, Chris asked me, did I think the Fords would be competitive tonight? And I said, you know, they qualified really well. They've shown some speed, but we haven't seen it in the race. We're seeing it now. The 2 car is out there and leading this thing. He's going somewhere.
Kevin Harvick up the inside for 7th place right now. New team for Harvick. He joins Stewart Haas Racing. Car number changes to Ford. This is the team that Ryan Newman had last year as 39. New driver, sponsor, and car number.
Sorta, with a new crew chief. Rodney Childers, great crew chief.
Our pole sitter, Austin Dillon, led the first lap. And now he's settled back in the 2nd pack. He's in 38th place after starting this race first.
You're doing fine. You're doing fine. Hey, you know what you got there, so just whatever you think here. Yeah, you're doing fine right there. Everything's good.
Austin Dillon riding in 38th. He's back there with Clint Boyer, Ryan Newman, and Michael Waltrip, and Carl Edwards.
The way these engines operate, Mike and Larry knows this, if you just barely squeeze out the throttle, you lose a lot of momentum. And you think, hey, I can't run with these guys. I can't keep up with them. All of a sudden, you get up there with the good cars that are running fast. You can hold it wide open and draft with them. All of a sudden, your car comes alive.
How about Paul Menard in that 27 car? Brad Keselowski jumped to the top line. Paul Menard, with the help of Joey Logano in the 22, Kevin Harvick in the 4, he's up there battling for the lead. This is a backup car because Paul was involved in that crash in practice on Wednesday.
Watch out here, Larry. We're getting ready to come up on the lap car of Kyle Larson and see where they catch him at. He's going to shake things up a little bit here as they try to go by him.
Larson hugs the bottom of the racetrack, and the pack begins to whistle past.
Yeah, he's already had a rough afternoon. You know, Kyle Larson had been to the wall a couple of times, came out of the pit late on that last restart and just never got up to the back of the field, and now they're lapping him.
But this draft is so long and disturbs the air so much that even Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in 41st place at the tail end of this line, 3 seconds back, is still getting the benefit of the lead draft along with Carl Edwards, Michael Waltrip, Austin Dillon, and Clint Boyer.
Yeah, all the guys, we saw it in the other races here this week. You know, you get back, and if you get a couple of good cars together, they can actually chase this lead group down, or any time the lead group breaks away. So you're not out of this thing, even though you're running back here in the back.
Darrell, you get a championship point if you lead 1 or more laps. There's a little money, a bonus money for leading laps in the 500. But otherwise, if you're up in that front pack, you're building your playbook. What are you learning that's going to help you when push comes to shove at the end of it?
Well, first of all, who you can trust. Who can I work with? Who's going to be my buddy? Look at Keselowski and Kyle Busch right there. Are they right now? They're saying, hey man, we're working pretty good together. We're making good lap times. How about let's talk about what we're going to do at the end of the day? So you start making deals. You tell the spotter, hey, tell that 18, let's work together, or whomever it may be. So right now you're just strategizing a little bit, getting things set up for the last little bit.
Well, I know one thing a lot of these drivers at the front will be setting up for here shortly will be green flag pit stops. We do have the variable of the number of cautions we ran under that red flag, but when I look at our top 6 or 8, other than Kevin Harvick in the 4, probably 6 to 8 laps away from what will be the first set of green flag pit stops.
You know, Larry, it's just amazing to me how these guys, just look at Brian Vickers. I mean, Vickers in a backup car. He's running 7th. And there's Casey Mears in the 13 car running 9th. Trevor Bayne in the 21 car running 11th. Terry Labonte in the 32. He's running 12th, right ahead of Dale Jr. There's some cars running up front that we don't see every time we come down here.
In the new movie Need for Speed, Aaron Paul plays a street racer who joins a cross-country race with revenge on his mind. So with that in mind, we'll let the cars do the talking and give you a NASCAR on Fox Crank It Up. speed in theaters everywhere March 14th. 70 laps complete.
Oh, yeah, we cranking off some laps over 201 miles per hour right now.
I think we're at max speed.
Yes, sir.
I think we're seeing max speed right now.
Well, Joey Logano, the 22, is at max position first. Steve Burns.
Yeah, he and his teammate Brad Keselowski running nose to tail. The only report from Joey Logano thus far is his car is just a little snug going into turn 1. Matt Yoakum.
Denny Hamlin currently in the 7th position. Now, when we went back to green, there was an intermittent problem with Denny's radio. It was scratchy, and it was difficult to hear, and he could only hear them part of the time. He went to the backup radio. He could hear fine, but then it began to get faint. Now it's a problem, and they're looking at ways of possibly changing out one of the wires on a stop.
That's one of the things that happens when you put these cars under the car cover when it's been raining. A lot of moisture. We saw it on the windows in the cars when they uncovered them. A lot of moisture inside the car. It can mess with the radios. It can mess with a lot of the wiring harnesses. I've seen that happen many times.
Happens to my MGs when I park them outside. I don't even need a car cover. Lucas Electrics. All right. Up front, Paul Menard battling Joey Logano. Logano on the outside with help from his Ford teammate. And
Gordon.
Jeff Gordon.
He's coming.
Coming to pit road.
This will be a scheduled pit stop because Jeff Gordon's one of the drivers that stayed out on that last caution. They have to be a lot more cautious getting on the pit road because, Steve, it's damp at the entrance.
And Jeff Gordon's going to take 4 tires on this stop, guys. Remember, he said his car was just a little bit tight, but that was hours ago. It doesn't look like any chassis adjustments on the 24, just 4 tires and fuel. He does get a windshield tear off.
I just don't think he was happy with his car. He kind of got caught in the middle there. He kind of fell back. I thought he felt like it was a good time to come on pit road without anybody else being there, with nobody in his way. I think it's a good move.
And Darrell, he had radioed he was not happy with the driving of the driver immediately behind him. That may be why he peeled off 1 lap before this group. Krista?
And Mike, similar to Jeff Gordon, Paul Menard, one of those drivers who hadn't pitted since back on lap 24. He said he needs a little bit of an adjustment. He's just a little too tight. They're going to go back on the track bar. You see the gas man working there in the 27. Matt?
And Kasey Kahne is in with the 5. Right side tires going on. Oh, miscommunication. Kasey thought it was going to be a 2-tire stop. They're going to go for 4. So that way on their next stop, they can just do 2 as we get closer to halfway.
These green flag pit stops going from 200 miles per hour to 55 miles per hour, it absolutely gets out of control. You see Kyle Busch in the 18, he's on pit road.
Kasey Kahne has spun trying to exit pit road where it's still a bit damp. Now the field has gone by, so the track is safe to stay green as Kahne grabs a gear and pulls away.
It's got to be from the moisture down low there on the racetrack. He had to get into some of that. And remember, he had 4 brand new tires. They don't have a lot of grip when you first take off with them.
Matt?
And Kyle Busch's teammate Denny Hamlin will pit next time by. Meanwhile, you can see the changers with the lights on their helmets for better vision to hit the lug sport tires for Busch. Oh, he grabbed the air gun. He has pulled the air gun down pit road.
And that will be a penalty. That's considered removing equipment from the pit box. He'll have to come back to pit road under green.
Green flag stops continue with Denny Hamlin's Toyota and Jamie McMurray's Chevrolet.
You know, in the duels, we saw a lot of mistakes on pit stops, and there's our first one tonight.
Krista?
Jamie McMurray right now, he had come back in for 4 tires on a previous stop. Jamie talking about how slick the track is, Matt.
A slight chassis adjustment. Denny Hamlin, also a bigger adjustment. Hopefully the team will hopes it works. They've handed him a wiring harness through the radio to see if he can have time to, if they get a caution, to change out that wire so he can hear better.
Now you have to be on the inside to come to pit road. No takers this time by, as we stay green at 75 laps. I'll show you what happened to Kasey Kahne here as he came in for his scheduled stop going out of the pits. Just right there at the apron at the exit of pit road, it's still damp.
I just think it's 4 sticker tires, a little bit of moisture, and he gassed it up, and when he did, the thing went around, and now here's the 18 pulling that air gun out of his pit box.
NASCAR rule: if you remove equipment from the pit box, it is a pass-through penalty, which means as the field rockets past at 200 miles an hour, Kyle Busch is going to have to drive down pit road at 55. Here are the Penske Fords, Keselowski and Logano. They are teammates, but right this moment, they are competitors, trying to beat each other to the entrance of pit lane.
They're racing on. I mean, they're racing into the pits.
Steve?
Mike, Brad Keselowski's comment moments ago was that his car was just a little bit on the free side. Remember, Joey Logano said just the opposite. His car was a little bit tight. Right side tires going on for Brad Keselowski. No other adjustments. Oh, there it is, a chassis adjustment on the 2 car, and they will take 4 tires. Meanwhile, Joey Logano's team also changing 4 tires further up pit road.
There are still 11 cars on the track, Larry, that haven't been to pit road since the red flag. And Trevor Bayne, the surprise winner of the Daytona 500 a couple of years ago, out in front of Eric Almirola, driving for Richard Petty. That number 43 has been to victory lane here 7 times.
Pretty much a rule of thumb, and Larry knows this: if you're going to take 2 cans of fuel, you might as well take 4 tires. You're going to be in the pits that long. So, and I don't know, Kyle doesn't need to mess around here. Kyle Busch in the 18, he needs to get on pit road because he's going to get the black flag if he doesn't.
Well, I think he's already received the black flag, but he'll get the black flag with the white cross, which means you're no longer being scored.
Ooh, that's that real ugly black flag.